Let's deconstruct this design from James Wilson. So the first thing we're going to do is start working on our background. We're going to pull in this photo from the Milwaukee Public Market, and we're going to use the dodge tool to brighten up this top left corner a little bit. This will bring all of our levels up so we have a more even photo. Then we're going to add several adjustment layers: a brightness and contrast, a levels, a hue and saturation, a gradient map, and then we will follow it up with one more brightness and contrast filter. So let's go through those settings step by step. On our first filter, brightness and contrast, we're going to take it up by 82 and then the contrast up by 100. Then on the levels, we're basically pulling in the light side and the dark side closer so it's higher contrast and less punchy. Then our hue and saturation, we're going to take the hue up and the saturation up to get a little bit more yellow in there. Now this is the really important step, the gradient map. We're going to do a reddish color and then a just off-white color to make it a more even tone, and then we're going to take that opacity down to 95%. And to top it all off, we'll add one more brightness and contrast filter where we're just bumping the contrast way up. Then we can throw that in a folder, merge that group, and then go to filter noise and add just a little bit of noise, and this will give us our background to start working with. Now we can start working on the text. First thing we're going to do is type out James Wilson and change our typeface to Avenir Next Condensed Heavy. We'll take our kerning down to -55 and change the font size to 14 and change the color to red. Now for our next text element, we're not just going to make a text layer, but we're going to make a text box. And in this box, we are going to type in the outportor. Now what makes this design cool is changing the paragraph styles to justify, and this is going to spread our text across the entire text box. Then we can move on to the next line where it says Feet, Draylin Young, and more. We'll change our font size, bring that down a little bit, and change the color to red. Now we're going to repeat this process for the cities and the venues. We'll type in April 1st in Louisville, Kentucky, and making sure that we changed Louisville to that same red color. And then we're going to duplicate that layer down so we can type in the host church, in this case Greater Faith Church. And we're going to change that color red and bring the font down again to size 6. Then it's rinse and repeat for all the rest of the dates and stops. Then we'll type in the URL, change the font size down to 4.5, get that in place, and then we can start working on the load tickets. Now this is the same exact font. We're just going to bring that font size up a little bit, change the color to red, get those copied into their appropriate places. Then the last element we have to make are these boxes that say sold out. So we'll use our box tool, make a box, change the fill to red, and then we can type out sold out. Now this is a slightly different typeface. It's Avenir Next Heavy, not the condensed. And we'll change that size to 0.10 and change the color to white. Put that over the top of the box, and we can throw that into a group so we can put it at an angle. And this color actually isn't pure white, it's a little off-white, so we're going to go ahead and change that to just slightly off-white. Then we can duplicate that group and just bring that down and rotate it slightly to match the original design. The very last step is to throw all of that into one group, duplicate it, merge group, and we're going back to filter, add noise, and we're going to do up somewhere around 6%. You can go anywhere from about 6 to 10%, but 10 gets a little heavy, so we'll stick with 6% on that add noise. And this is our replicated design. So thank you for joining me for this design deconstruction.